Hello.
Hi, Anu.
Hey, Jing.
Hello.
Do you hear me? Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Anu. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear us, Anu?
Hi. Yeah, I can hear you, but can you hear me?
Very low. So I turned on the volume
Is this
up,
better?
but low again. Sorry.
Oh, I don't know why. Let me see. Give me a minute.
Now it's better.
Yeah, I think, you know,
Is the headset
sometimes.
or something? Maybe.
No, actually, I'm not using my headset. I had the speaker on, but then now, since you said it was very low, I turned, off my speaker
Okay.
and just went on to holding the phone.
Yeah.
So Jeff is supposed to call in, and you guys are having problems with AWS?
Yes.
Maybe you can ask Jeff. I don't know if he knows, but he might be a person that we could ask. We can tell him that it's for a different project, but. Hello.
Hey, this is Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey.
So all your travels are done for now?
For the next few weeks. But the last two, it's like wherever I went, it was never above 20 degrees. So even when I went to Texas.
So it's probably you.
So the people from Boston also flew out, so I think they brought the weather. So, but yeah, I landed in Austin and it was 14 degrees.
Yeah, you hit it during the bad time. So I don't know who else is going to call in today. So maybe we should just get started, and if we get done early, then we get done early. And, we get a little bit of extra time to do other stuff then. On the call, we have Ding and Firat. Is there anybody else there?
I'm here, again.
Elgin is here. Okay. And we also have Nansu and Jeff. Am I missing anybody? Okay. So I just wanted to talk about updates on action items that we have, and also the no-cost extension work, what is going on and what we will be doing further on. So for contacting repositories, as I mentioned earlier, we will be meeting with GDC folks and the TCIA folks on February 6th. So I think that is not the next week, the week after next week. And then I guess Ian is still trying to contact Endar, or maybe he's given that up. I have no idea yet. And for Fitbit, I actually emailed Matt, but haven't heard back from him, and I'm not sure that they're back at work yet after the government shutdown. So I'm assuming that once they get back to work, they'll get back. He should probably get back to us. With import, Nansu, do you have any updates with the Viper?
No, we don't have any update. We're still working on the Viper actually we just finished the matching, and now we're trying to get data from the website, which we send them email for asking them to pull those data for us, but they say that they cannot do that, so we have to download those data by ourselves. So probably we will download all the data this week and do all the ingestion things, then we will deliver the data to Jeff hopefully this week.
Okay. And this is for both Viper and IRD, or for just Viper?
No, just the Viper. IRD will start doing IRD next week, but it will be faster since it has a similar schema metadata, but we have to download the data. So probably it will take a week or two for IRD.
Okay. And then I have no update. I haven't heard anything about IEDG from Philippe and Alejandra. For the ICPSR, Jeff, I know that we got the comparison of that DDI schema.org that's currently being exported by ICPSR, and we were supposed to review it. Did you take a look at the document yet?
Yeah, I mean, we took a look. I thought we briefly mentioned that on a prior call, but I thought we were going to try and set up a time to follow up in terms of a discussion with Philippe and perhaps ICPSR to figure out what we're doing. Right.
Oh, okay.
In this regard.
Because with Philippe and ICPSR?
I
was under the impression, as I remember, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, because I had thought that we would probably go back to, or you just want to talk to Philippe about this then?
Well, the question is, what's the plan with the schema.org? And because we had the initial call with Philippe before the holidays, about the DAT schema.org alignment, and so I think we need to follow up on that. So, or perhaps if they're on the call next Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't know, because they haven't been attending our CGT calls for a long time now. So I can follow up with Philippe. Let me write that down.
Okay.
And after we do that, then we want to go back, because the plan was once we review and we have some comments, then we would go back to Matthew and ask him about, because he's also supposed to provide us the tool and bring us the ICPSR data that would be with and without the dimension. And I wondered if I should just follow up with him right now, or should we wait until we get back to him?
Well, the question is, what's the, because we have, hold on, the data that we have for ICPSR, hold on, let me, my web browser. The question is, what's the, what is the process for what we want to do?
I guess the plan was to align it, right, as much as possible with schema.org and DDI, right?
Well, there's that, but then there's also the description, of the data sets themselves, right? So in terms of what type of alignment did we need to do, or are we just going to be bringing in information on their, data elements or what's the process that we want to take going forward?
Oh, okay.
Because there was the advanced search that you had implemented with the with the data elements.
Right. I think right now we have almost all of the data elements actually implemented in the advanced search, right, Jim? Advanced search has all the metadata elements in them now, correct? Hello? Maybe you're on mute.
Hello? Pardon, Anu?
Yeah. So right now we have, in advanced search, we have all of the metadata elements, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and the age and the dimension search. So, I think that the question with ICPSR is how do we want to, do we want to take the one feed that we have from them now and import it this way, or do we want to do the schema.org import, or, the question is really what are the paths we need to do going forward, right?
So ideally the plan was to see how extensive the coverage is, right, between the three. Exports that they have now.
Right, but two of their exports are basically identical.
Which are the DDI and schema.org?
No, the DDI, and they have two DDIs, and then they have a DATS, which are very, very close to one another. And then there's the schema.org output that they have.
Oh, okay.
And we had been pulling, I think the current one pulls from DDI.
Oh, not that.
I think we had switched it to DDI. We sort of had gone through a couple iterations with different types of connections with them, because they were working on the updated DATS version. But then they sort of were talking then about the updated schema.org version, and so I don't think we ever made a decision as which route we were going to take.
Okay.
In terms of the updated DATS or the new schema.org or.
Okay. And so, Firat, do we have any updates on the DAT rendering of it, or converting our API output?
I think I can come up with a result at the end of next week.
Okay, that's good. And then you can maybe as soon as you get to it, you can let Jeff and Alejandra and Philippe know, and they can go in and take a look. And after we are done, then maybe we can also get John from, I don't know from where they are, but anyway, the email that we received today that I replied back to.
Yeah, I know that.
So for that, I guess we can have them, once we are done with internal review, then we can go ask them to test it out for us as well. So just to let you know, Jeff, we had somebody from, I think it is from Minnesota. They were trying to pull out metadata using DataMed API,
Right.
and they were hoping to see it in the DATS format.
Right.
I think they actually it got they wrote to us through feedback, and it actually went into our GitHub. But with the holidays and stuff, I don't think anybody ever replied. But they know Hua, so they wrote an email to Hua. He forwarded to us, and so I wrote back to them that we are working on it and we'll get back to them. So one of the things that I think would be useful, in addition to us internally testing whether, it's all converted well, I think it would be good for them to, as somebody who's not, related to BioCaddy, actually test it out as well for us.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Oh, so the other thing, Jeff, did you get to getting a list of the curation time and man hours for Nansu?
Yep, I'm about to hit send actually. After
okay, great.
my crazy travel and everything else, so yeah, that's done.
Okay, great. So we already talked about the DATS output, and in terms of search engine, actually we still are working on alerts to new results from saved searches. The rest, the other 3 new functionalities are all completed. And the CDE is also something that we are working on. And I haven't heard back from the Emory folks yet, so we will get back to them. So for data ingestion, are we still going to, I know we said we would try and expand to more number of data repositories, but are we still planning to do this? Jeff, do you have anybody working on this part?
When I still have Barak, right, working on the automated sort of recrawling, which was one of the things that he's working on, and we can bring in some additional sources. The question is which ones. It's more of a which ones would be good to target. There were a couple that that we had on the target list from sort of the extension, right?
Right. So
those are sort of still sort of in progress, but I don't know if there are any others outside of that are.
So are we still going to be going back to our, the list where we had some repositories actually submitting data to, requesting us? I don't know if we have done anything with those. Maybe those are the things that we want to get back to.
Yeah, that would be. We can review that list again.
Yeah, I think so, because I know we have. Go ahead, Jeff.
So if there's anything that's sort of worth doing and not overly not overly complicated in terms of lots of new development.
Right. So maybe we should get back to that, and also to the list where we have the repository submission or submit repository management, where we had some repositories requesting, right, to be indexed in DataMed, and I think that's also something that we could look at.
Yeah, I mean, I'll need to find that sheet again.
I think that is I can send out a link if you would like that.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Yeah, okay. I know. Too many things. Okay. And I think that's about it. Is there something that I'm missing that we need to talk about? So, if there's nothing else, Jeff, we have a quick question for you for this. We are working on actually setting up Elasticsearch on the cloud on AWS.
Don't do AWS.
Unfortunately,
I've tried both AWS and Found or Elastic. I would do it directly through Elastic, which is actually on the Amazon cloud, but they manage it, and their upgrade processing and their user support are much better.
Oh, okay. So I think Jing was trying to do it, and then she's run into some issues. So we were wondering if we could pick your brain a bit.
Yeah. I mean, I've done it all three ways. I've installed myself remotely. I have used the Amazon Elasticsearch service, and then I've used the Elasticsearch service on Amazon, and that's the one that is much more reliable.
Okay. So, Jing, do you want to just let Jeff know what issue? Because the problem there is we don't have a choice. We have to do it ourselves. I mean, we have to install everything ourselves. So Jing and Firat are trying to do it.
Jing is trying to do it. I don't have time to look at it. Jing is trying now. I couldn't look at it.
Okay.
So I mean, what do you mean you don't have so you need to do an install on a Linux, like a bare Linux machine, and you have to do the install yourself, or does
you guys
it matter
want to let
a provisioning service like Elastic?
So right now, from this other project, we actually have AWS credit.
Oh, okay.
And that's all we have.
Okay.
I don't know if we will get, if we need to pay for anything else, whether we will get anything additionally or not.
Okay.
So, Jing, you want to tell Jeff about the specific issue that you have?
Yes. Now I deploy the website on AWS, and I started the Elastic service on the AWS.
Right.
But the website can't load the data from indexes. So.
Do you have the right? I mean, you need to make sure that they're in the same security group, or that because Amazon has that funky security group way of handling machine-to-machine communication.
Oh, one machine. Yeah, it's on one machine, and I didn't use Amazon Elastic service. I download from Elastic website and download the folder and start the service.
Did you set up the configuration file for Elastic? And
no, I just use the folder's configuration file.
Yeah. trying to remember. It's been a while since I did the bare configuration, but there might be something you need to set in the configuration file.
Okay.
For the machine, but it's on the same machine.
Yeah, it's on the same machine.
So when you start Elastic, can you just get to the endpoint at with a raw REST request?
Yes. When I start the service, I can access the port, the data.
Okay.
But the website can't load the data.
On the same machine?
Yeah, correct.
Try checking your security group and make sure that port, well, hold on. So you're on the machine, and you can raw with curl, you can get, or whatever you're doing. So you're on that machine, and you can get to the Elastic endpoint?
Pardon? You mean to?
When you tested the Elastic endpoint on the machine, you did that from the machine you're running the user interface on? You did it from that same machine, or you did it from another machine?
Oh, okay. Oh, you mean to use another machine to deploy the Elasticsearch, right?
I mean, I would put them on separate machines anyway, but if you have it on the same machine right now, how did you test that you could connect to Elasticsearch?
Okay.
Run curl on that same machine, or?
Yeah, it's connected.
How do you test this connection? If you are using curl or any other, are you writing a script to test it? How?
And what machine were you testing from?
I think she is using the browser plugin hat with the port with the browser. She's calling with the browser, so the port and /plugin hat.
Oh, okay. So you were testing externally from another machine.
Yes, I think that's plugin, right?
Did you check the security group within Amazon to make sure that the local host? I mean, I'm not sure how if Amazon, are you connecting from that machine via the internal IP or the external IP?
I use the public IP, maybe the external IP.
So you're using the public IP.
Right. And I opened the port 9200.
In the security group?
Yeah. The security group, right.
You are running everything with
Amazon, but doesn't Amazon do something funky if you're connecting to a public IP that it uses? Internal local IP if it knows.
Mhm. I install everything use root user. Does it matter?
No, I mean, I'm wondering if it has something to do with how Amazon handles IP addresses internally.
Yeah, I also use the private IP and local host, but the results are same.
So can on the machine where the install is of the user interface, can you curl to the public IP and for Elasticsearch and see if you get any information back or what it tells you?
Yeah, correct. The response are correct.
From that machine using curl.
Yeah, I use that command line. I use curl to to access to the Elasticsearch, and the response are correct.
But then in your code, it isn't connecting properly?
Yes, in my code, I set the configuration of the endpoint. The IT are public IT, but I also use the local host and the private IT, but can't load the data.
Because you're basically just So on that machine where you're running the UI, you can connect via curl, but not via your PHP code?
Yes.
That's weird. Are you using any special libraries for Elasticsearch, or just raw?
No, I didn't use special libraries, and I started the Elastic service using root, but I have no idea it will affect the result.
Well, no, but if you said that you're getting results via curl, then I don't know why you wouldn't be getting the same within your PHP if you're just doing raw sort of HTTP gets. So again, with curl, you're able to do all the queries that you want to do, and they come back correctly?
Yes, I use the curl command to query indexes, aliases, and they're all right.
Huh. I don't know if you can curl to the endpoint from that machine that the UI is on, and then the PHP raw, I don't know what other configurations or any other settings you have in your PHP code, but it should, if you can connect from that same machine,
Okay.
yeah, that's. Sorry.
Oh. It's okay. Thank you.
Probably,
And in PHP, in the code, maybe I use a third library. I use Elasticsearch to get the data. I'm not sure. Is that okay? In PHP code, I use the third-party library. Yeah.
In the code, well, then you have to make sure that library supports that because there might be a version issue question. So you need to make sure that the library supports the version of Elasticsearch that you have installed.
Okay. But this project is a little similar with DataMed. So DataMed uses the third party, and it can load the data from Elasticsearch. So I think it's okay. And
right, but the DataMed Elasticsearch is a slightly older version, and so I don't know if you installed the latest Elasticsearch on the machine, because 6.0 is different?
My version is not the same with DataMed. I use the version is 1.7.6, and DataMed use 1.7.5.
Yeah, no, that should be fine. I mean.
Okay. Yeah.
No, they did there's a major change when they went to 5 and 6, I believe, so.
Okay.
And you aren't getting back any errors or anything from the PHP code? It's just hanging, or it just times out, or?
What kind of error are you getting?
How?
It just get no results, so so result is empty. We don't
it's doing a.
Yeah, we don't wait for connection or something. It doesn't wait, and it just says 0 results.
Okay, so it's doing the search, but it's not. Because then it could be just the way the query is being formulated. Can you get the actual query that is being sent by the third-party extension?
I think so, because it's similar with DataMed, so.
Yeah, because then I would see what it's putting together as a query and then trying it against.
Okay.
Trying it against the trying it with curl to see what the actual query is that it's putting together.
Okay. Okay, I will try that.
Yeah, and if you can send me the query as well if it looks strange, and I can take a look.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
I guess that's it.
Okay.
Was there anything else that we wanted to talk about? If not, then we'll meet again in another week's time.
Okay.
All right. Thank you all for calling in. Bye.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please stand by.